Due to some recent events that were slightly traumatizing to me, I'm not going to go into the details. An ant got in my beard. I don't want to talk about it, but some bad stuff happened. I wanted to make this whole video completely ant related. I wanted everything to revolve around ants and ant safety, but I thought about it. I can't do that to you guys. I need to give you guys something with a little more depth, some things you're going to be running into in the IT industry. I'm going to be talking about just general workplace safety, lifting, sitting, getting cuts, eye safety, that sort of thing. And I'm going to try best I can to avoid the ant subject. So, just put general workplace safety on your note card or whatever, and let's get to this. Okay, I just want to kind of preface this safety video saying I've been super busy lately. I just got married this last weekend, and I've been moving in to a new place. You probably noticed that this is a little bit different of a a little bit different of a background than I had before. It's because I totally moved, and because of all these things, I haven't really had time to work on the safety video a lot. So I just want to tell you I'm going to be using a lot of video sources that other people have made than me. I like to do it myself normally, but I just haven't had the time. So hopefully next video I'll be able to go back to being more personally involved, but still you're going to take some great notes from these videos, and they're probably even going to be more interesting to pay attention to. So check it out.
What is this? A center for ants? What?
So I was looking for videos on YouTube, and I found this cartoon video, and it's like all about how sitting is dangerous or something. So check it out.
Sitting can be a nice break from a busy day, but considering many of us spend our entire workday at a desk, followed by downtime in front of a computer or TV, one has to wonder, how exactly is sitting affecting your body? The answer is pretty shocking. As soon as you sit down, the electrical activity in your muscles drops significantly and your calorie burning rate plummets to about 1 calorie per minute. After only 3 hours of sitting, there's a 50% drop in artery dilation and as a result a decrease in blood flow. Sit for 24 hours straight and the insulin in your body loses nearly 40% of its ability to uptake glucose, which increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. And things only get worse from here. After 2 weeks of sitting for more than 6 hours a day, LDL cholesterol, sometimes called the bad cholesterol, is increased along with other fatty molecules, putting you at a greater risk for weight gain. On top of this, the enzymes responsible for breaking down fats plunge, and because of the prolonged inactivity, your muscles begin to break down. Gradually, their contractions become weaker, ultimately impeding the pumping of blood to your heart. Even if you work out regularly, the minute you stop moving, the deterioration begins again in proportion to your sitting time. And that's the scary part. Research shows that just as exercise doesn't necessarily counteract the negative effects of something like smoking, it doesn't counteract the negative effects of too much sitting. A year later, the effects begin to compound, and some studies in women have even shown a decrease in bone mass upwards of 1% every year. Think your brain is more important than your body? Physical movement not only helps pump blood and oxygen to the brain, but also sends mood-enhancing hormones. When we don't move, brain function begins to slow down. Perhaps the most shocking is that after 10 to 20 years of sitting for 6 hours a day, you may have lost up to 7 quality-adjusted life years. That is, years without medical issues or death. For example, the risk of dying from heart disease increases by 64%, while the risk of prostate or breast cancer increases by 30%. If everybody sat for no more than 3 hours a day, it's estimated that the average lifespan would rise by 2 years. Simply put, our bodies aren't designed to be sedentary, and sitting for 8 hours a day at work is just as bad for those who go home and watch TV as it is for those who hit up the gym. It can literally be a lethal activity.
if you're anything like me, you're on a ladder almost every single day. And ladders can be incredibly dangerous. Apparently, this guy in this next video died from like a ladder or something. So watch this video now.
Ladders are simple, right? But falls are the leading cause of death in construction. 1/4 are from ladders. This is the site where a 33-year-old worker died. Fatal falls happen even from heights of less than 6 feet. It was a simple task, washing windows. The worker tied a 5-gallon bucket of cleaning solution to the top of the ladder, climbed the ladder with tools, then turned facing the window, using the heels of his work boots to balance himself near the ladder's top rung. The force of the worker's action on the top-heavy ladder caused it to tip over. A foreman from a different company heard the crash and called 911.
911, what's your emergency?
When EMS arrived minutes later, the worker was unresponsive and having seizures. He was taken to a hospital where he died 14 hours later. This death could have been prevented. The company should have provided hands-on training so workers know how to work safely. Second, the company should have had a written safety program that they enforce to avoid unsafe practices, like not placing heavy items on the top or side of a ladder, never working from the top 2 rungs, never overreaching or leaning, and to always work facing the stepladder, and maintain 3 points of contact when climbing. But the best solution is to eliminate use of a ladder entirely. The company could have provided tools like extender poles or a personal lift. This tragedy doesn't have to happen to you or a coworker. Use what you've just learned. Then you can go home safe.
Charlie! Charlie!
Fool! He's dead.
So this man's gonna tell you how to not hurt yourself when you lift stuff.
Let's talk about preparing for and properly executing the lift. A back support is really the last line of defense in the fight against back injuries. Proper preparation and technique are essential. Whenever possible, the best practice is to figure out how not to lift at all or substitute the worker in the lift, eliminating the risk of a sprain or strain injury altogether. Of course, this is not always realistic, so when lifting, it's important to follow the 8 commandments of proper lifting to ensure proper lifting posture. Plan the lift and test the load. If the test feels as though the load may be too heavy, ask for help. Get a firm footing by placing one foot slightly in front of the other, bend at the knees, and tighten the stomach muscles. Next, and perhaps one of the most important techniques to remember, lift with the legs, not with the back. Remember to always keep the load close to the body, as extending the load puts undue stress on the back. Lastly, keep the back upright, transport the load as needed, and complete the lift. Let's go through the 8 commandments one more time, just to be safe. 1. Plan your lift and test the load. 2. Ask for help. 3. Get a firm footing. 4. Bend your knees. 5. Tighten your stomach muscles. 6. Lift with your legs. 7. Keep the load close. And 8. Keep your back upright.
Every year, the U.S. spends more than $5 billion on medical treatment, damage, and control due to this invasive insect. It's the fire ant, and here's what you need to know to survive.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you learned a lot about lifting and sitting and the other one that I showed. So, take it easy and be safe, Perry.
Army ants are nature's Mongol hordes, always on the move and ravaging everyone in their path. You can only run from them and don't waste time. Because when an ant colony is on the move, they rule the road. Anything that stands in their way will be overwhelmed.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup!
Because that's how you get ants!
Yay!
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah!